Anytime. Now back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
Can I turn on your radio?
Yes, already.
It's almost showtime.
Who's your favorite talk radio personality?
That's Todd. He's weird.
Monday through Friday.
He's strange.
5 to 7.
Sloppy.
I mean, he sounds perfect.
He's dreamy.
What do you say? Let's get it going.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Watch this. Yo, they call me Big Cheesy T. I'm the rapping cracker with rhymes that slice, sharp like cheddar. A landlord swear I'm cut to impress. I'm packing the punch, I'm bringing the zest. Dayton, Ohio, my hometown jam. Baked and toasted, but I ain't no gram. I taste so divine, way beyond measure. Night or day, I'm your guilty pleasure. Oh yeah, man, you gotta love me. You gotta love Cheez-It. I'm cranking out squares of cheesy flavors. No matter your crave, you're gonna savor. Crap on me, I'm a snack supreme. Better than cookies and dry saltines. I'm a bold little cracker, tasty and quick. A handful of me will do the trick. Stuff me in your mouth, I'm so damn fine. Maybe even pair me with a box of wine. I'm the snack that fills the world with joy and brings cheesy goodness no one can destroy. I'm crispy, I'm crunchy, I'm one of a kind, and Dayton made. I'm showing my pride. Hear my rap, my big cheesy treat. Build a statue of me, let my orangeness gleam.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Yes, tonight on the show, we have some Cheez-It chat. At least at the beginning. Today is the day that Taco Bell released their Cheez-It menu to the world, to everybody. You no longer have to just be one of those Taco Bell Rewards members. You can chomp down to your heart's delight. And I've had a number of people reach out to me today and say, you've got to try this. I haven't tried it yet. You would think that me, who loves Cheez-It so much, Cheez-It proponent I am, that I would have somehow managed to get one between a couple of weeks ago when they first announced it and was available to reward members to now. I would have had no, because I don't feel special like you reward members. No, I don't. I'm going to eat it with the rest of the population. So I'm excited to try it. I think I'm going to swing by Taco Bell and pick one up tonight on my way home, and might do a little video about it. They've got a couple of tasty options. The one I'm really interested in is the Tostado, the Cheez-It Tostado. And my producer tonight, William, mentioned before the show that he saw on TikTok, and I would love to know if this is true. I've not seen this, that if you go to Taco Bell, you can actually just buy the giant Cheez-It cracker that all of the good stuff comes on. You don't have to get the whole deal. You could just get the cracker. And then William had another great idea. He said, you know what you could do? You could get those and you could sign them, and then you could put them in like polyurethane and give them away. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is an idea. But I know I think about polyurethane, so I'll have to figure that out. But I think that's a pretty cool idea. The other thing that I saw Cheez-It related today, somebody sent me an email that the jukebox that was in the Cheez-It diner, remember we talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago in Pennsylvania, I believe, just for a weekend, and it might have even been during Memorial Day weekend. Cheez-It opened up a pop-up diner in this little town in Pennsylvania, and it was nothing but Cheez-It, wall-to-wall Cheez-It. And what was really neat is they had a jukebox, like an actual size jukebox, that you could request music. Instead of putting quarters in, you had to put Cheez-It crackers in. Well, apparently that is now available on eBay. When I looked at it this morning, it was way out of my price range. I mean, I don't know what it is now, but this morning it was like 800 and some bucks. I know I work on the radio, but don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I don't have money falling out of my wallet. Okay. But I'll tell you what I did do is I sent a an email to my good friend Brady Kress, who's the CEO of Carolina Historical Park. And I was like, call me crazy, but I think Carolina needs this jukebox. I feel like this would be not just the Cheez-It statue that will be unveiled publicly. I mean, we did it last year, but they're going to put it out in their collection. They're working on some stuff. That's all I could say. But you need that Cheez-It statue and the jukebox. I mean, come on. That would be great. People would come from all over the place to see the giant statue and feed the jukebox full of Cheez-Its. That would be awesome. So that's what's going on today as far as the Cheez-It. If you happen to try one of these tonight on the show, I mean, I'm on until 7. I would love to get your review. Give us a call, 937-457-1290. Also on the show, last night towards the end of the broadcast, I was sitting here watching Channel 7, and it was a CBS Evening News. And the last story that they had was about, I believe they're pronounced Joro Spiders. Have you seen this? This is making the rounds, and this is a real thing. I think we need some music for this. Hang on. As close as I could come to.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
That's the best song I could come up with on short notice. But these spiders, apparently, they're from Asia, and they are infiltrating the United States. I don't know how they got here. They first showed up in Georgia like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. And since then, they've been spinning their webs of chaos and mayhem along the eastern coast. And they're saying, the experts are saying, that this year there will be these Joro spiders, 4-inch long legs, venomous, and apparently they fly. Now, they don't fly like birds, okay? Don't think of a giant spider with wings, because that's the last thing we need. Spiders are bad enough. We don't need spiders with wings. I mean, come on. But apparently they do something called ballooning. And what they do is they shoot their web into the air, and somehow it catches the breeze. And I would say, much like Spider-Man, they kind of swing from gust to gust, if you will, and that's how they move around. But these spiders have been reported in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and New York, where it's the hotbed of Joro spiders. But also, I'm not making this up, they've been reported here in Ohio. Now, it doesn't say where in Ohio. I'm guessing from the other locations that they mentioned, probably southeastern Ohio. That's where I'm guessing. But it's not going to take long until these spiders start hitching rides on trailers and campers and cars and maybe your clothes, and making it to central Ohio and southwestern Ohio. It's just a matter of time. They're right there on the river. You know, somehow they're going to end up on barges, and they're going to make it to Cincinnati, and they're going to take their little creepy crawly 4-inch long legs and make their way up 6, 7, or 75. That's what's going to happen. So this being the case, you know how I love my silly parodies. And I have a couple of parody ideas right now on the table that I'm working on. One has to do with the contraflow lane. I'm working on that. But I feel like this could be the summer of Joro spiders. William's like shaking his head. Heck no, we don't want them. I would like to do a parody for the Joro Spiders. So I'm hoping, and if you listen to the show with any regularity, you kind of get the sensibilities, my sense of humor, and some of the silly parodies that I do. You kind of know what I'm looking for. Think about this. Think about a song, a popular song that people would just immediately know. They're like, oh, I know that one. That's a great one that we can put Joro Spiders to, a story about Joro Spiders, how creepy and scary the Joro Spiders sound on paper. They're not very, they are venomous, but apparently the experts say they're not really a concern to humans. They're not a concern to your pets, because that's a big one. That's a big one. They say that most of their venom is reserved for critters that get caught in their webs. Butterflies, wasps, cockroaches. I'm fine with all of those except for the butterflies. I don't want the butterflies to get caught, but wasps, cockroaches, I'm fine with. I don't care. I don't care what happens to them. But they could also be a threat to native spiders. So this could be the summer of a spider civil war right here in the United States. You weren't thinking about that when you woke up this morning, were you? So if you got any ideas for the Joro Spiders from Hell, a parody song, by all means, 937-457-1290. Also on the show, we've got an idiot of the week, and this is oh man, this is high quality stuff. It has to do with a couple who were about to get married. Literally, they were getting married the next day. And like many couples do, new couples, when they're getting married, they move in together. And this couple was doing that, and they were moving a number of their items to a new location, including a mattress. And what they did to transport and secure the mattress, you're going to want to hear about.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S. T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
I like that. Spiders from hell. That's a good one. That's a good one, Jennifer. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Pete the Shoot here again to tell you our growth intervention plants are ready to plant now and 20,000 plants to choose from. It's also time to plant your vegetable plants, and now we not only have our world-famous neighbor tomato plants, but we have over 95 varieties of vegetable plants like peppers, cabbage, cantaloupe, cauliflowers, eggplants, and more. Wow, grab a napkin, you're drooling. Folks, our customers have sent our plants all over the country. Try these plants in your garden. You're going to love them. And don't forget, we have thousands of shade trees and shrubs ready to load. We have hundreds of rose bushes starting at $12.95 and bonsai trees for $17.95. So come out soon to 1309 Grand Pike, where we're open 7 days. Folks, my friends at Americans for Prosperity are raising awareness about border issues. In fact, they've been taking grassroots activists to the border. Hundreds of concerned citizens themselves journeying through the activism, what they've seen on the ground at the border. Take action in this country. In fact, right now, they want to raise awareness about the border, and they are doing so with the new website, secureborder.secureamerica.com. That website again is secureborder.secureamerica.com. Americans for Prosperity is raising awareness about the border as a matter of public policy, keeping conservative activists to the border to see it, and doing this website to raise awareness about it, secureborder.secureamerica.com.
For a new principal today, well, the latest at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
I'm just trying to make a living.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. You can watch the live stream. It's up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Talking about Joro Spiders, the dreaded Joro Spiders. They're venomous, they fly, they've got 4 legs, and they're heading to Ohio. You know, a couple of years ago, we had the murder hornet scare. Remember that? That was a big deal. Last year, we had cicadas. That was a big deal. A couple of years before that, we had the spotted lanternflies. And, of course, my favorite, the scariest of them all, the Brazilian lightning bugs. Oh, my God. Things were crazy. Dancing all over the backyard, dropping their lightning bug juice all over. It was awful. It was awful. Sure, people remember that. But we're looking for a great song idea for a Joro I guess I should find out if that's really how you pronounce it. Joro Spider. Carl in Beaver Creek, you got an idea for us?
Yeah, I got a suggestion for your eight-legged friend song.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, Gwen Stefani was with No Doubt, and they did a very popular song called Walking Through the Spiderweb.
Oh, yeah.
The majority of your listeners would probably relate to that song.
That's a good one. Spiderwebs by No Doubt. I like that one. That's a good idea. Have you seen the Joro Spiders on TV or your backyard or anything?
Yeah, I have. I've seen them.
Yeah. Are you scared?
You know what's scary about that is since they're coming from China and everything, what happens is that can destabilize our ecosystem when they start preying on other insects that need to prey on the insects that prey on us and stuff. So
that's true.
Scary in that aspect.
That's true. I think they said what I saw in one story, and I've not confirmed it yet, but they said that they think they came from Japan. So I don't know. I mean, somewhere in Asia. They didn't say China in particular, but it could be. I don't know. But I appreciate your call, Carl. We had a suggestion on the live stream for a song parody for Joro Spiders, and I'm thinking this might be pretty solid too. Talk about creepy crawlies. I mean, very simple wording. I mean, I feel like I could come up with some good lines for this AC/DC song, and then you just bring it home right here at the end. Spiders from hell. Spiders from hell.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at evening@Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
What's everybody doing this weekend? Any big plans?
looks like a regular crunch wrap, right? Oh, it's not. That is a Cheez-It inside. 16 times the size of a regular Cheez-It, I present to you the Cheez-It Crunch Wrap.
That is hysterical. I'm going to see the Ancient Alien guys on Sunday. Joel, we're talking about Joro Spiders.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
Be of good cheer and call me.
Call me now! Call me! He's laughing at us right on the radio.
Least we could do is get him on the radio and talk to him.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You ever wake up from a dream and be like, what in the heck does that mean? I don't know if you're somebody that puts meanings to dreams. I kind of do. I had a dream this morning. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. And we were chatting. I don't remember what we were talking about. But I remember in the dream that he said, all right, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And in the dream, I paused, and he didn't hang up. And he just was going about his day. It sounded like he was doing laundry. Then he was talking to somebody in the room, but like he never hung up.
Like I'm assuming in the dream, this friend was expecting me to hang up. Well, I didn't hang up. I was curious. I was nosy. What's going on over there? And I listened in my dream. I listened for a little bit. Nothing really interesting from what I recall. But what does that mean? That is weird. And isn't it odd that some people do that? You'll be talking to them and you're like, all right, see you later. And then they don't hang up. They think you're going to hang up. So they just don't bother. But if you pause, you might continue to hear them in the background. It's very strange. 937-457-1290. Still looking for song ideas for a parody for the Joro Spiders that will be invading America this summer, and Ohio included. Mostly the East Coast. I got to give a shout out to Joseph, who sent me a clip in regards to Cheez-It. So we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Today is the day. Taco Bell nationwide, everybody can get one of their Cheez-It flavored menu items. And Joseph sent me a clip, and I'm guessing that this was some sort of presentation at the Taco Bell world headquarters, wherever that might be. And it's so funny because when you hear it, you would think they were introducing a new iPhone.
This looks like a regular Crunchwrap, right? Oh, it's not. That is a Cheez-It inside. 16 times the size of a regular Cheez-It, I present to you the Cheez-It Crunchwrap.
Yes! I mean, that's what it sounded like. You know, you think it was Steve Jobs out there like, this is the brand new iPhone when he was alive. But you know what I'm saying? It's just people excited about it. We got Ryan and Xenia calling about the Cheez-It. Hey, Ryan. Jackpot. Hang on. Let me find my jackpot button. There you go. So what's happening?
I had the Cheez-It tostada today for lunch.
Now, what did you think of it? Was it as cheesy and as tasty as it looks?
Yes.
Yo.
I think it's going to be a new staple for my lunchtime from now on.
Really? Well, you know, here's what they
really impressed.
Here's what they do, though, Ryan. They screw around with you. This is for a limited time only.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. I hate it when they do that. Now, did you notice or did you see where you might be able to just order the Cheez-It cracker, the big one, 16 times the size? Oh, go back and ask. Find out. Well, I'm gonna stop by the Taco Bell on the way home tonight and grab one because I want to try it. I'll probably do a video on it later, but I'll ask if I can just buy a giant Cheez-It. And maybe
I recommend them. They were good.
You know, there was a girl that a young woman that listens to the show, big fan of the show, that works at a Taco Bell out in Sugar Creek, and she called the show a year or so ago when I was having trouble finding the Mexican pizza. Remember, it went away for a while, and I did a lot of complaining on air, and finally Taco Bell bent and brought it back, and I'm taking all the credit for that. But even when they did, I couldn't find it because they were out of ingredients. It was a nightmare. But she called and said, "Hey, I'll make you one. We have them. Come see me." I wonder if she can hook me up with a case of those giant Cheez-Its.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of her.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. All right, Ryan, I appreciate your call, buddy. Have a good one. That line's open, 937-457-1290. We have an idiot of the week.
You are a stupid idiot!
Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Idiot! Imbecile pig!
Wake up, idiot!
Silly dilly dokio. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's true.
Well, it just so happens that today, you know, lots of times if it's a special day, like a national day of something, I always mention it. Some are more interesting or exciting than others. I certainly like the days when it's food related, for sure, or something fun, something different. This today, June 6th, is National Secure Your Load Day. Now, what does that mean? That means if you are somebody who, and we all might be in this situation from time to time, when you have to take a load from one part of town to the other, whether it be, furniture, whether it be junk you bought at the thrift store. Maybe you're moving somebody into an apartment, you're helping out, whatever it is. And you see this all the time. You see people out there in pickup trucks or SUVs or El Caminos that they carry stuff, but they don't really secure it. And you see that and you go, oh my God, that's just a disaster waiting to happen. Well, that's what happened to a couple in Utah. Now, this is very idiotic, and it's idiotic for a couple of reasons. One, they didn't take the proper steps to secure a king-size mattress. Now, I don't know if you have a king-size mattress. I have a king-size mattress because I am king-size, okay? And I've always had a king-size mattress. It's big. It's huge. It doesn't necessarily fit in the back of a pickup truck. It kind of hangs off the side. I've experienced this before, moving in and moving out of different places. Well, this couple, they were engaged. In fact, they were getting married the next day. The next day, they were walking down the aisles for their nuptials. But they were moving the day before, which that happens. We're getting married. We got to get moved in. We got to get our life going, you know. So they decided to load this mattress in the back of a pickup truck, and they didn't have the bungee cords that they needed. Whether they didn't have any or they didn't have enough, who knows? So they threw the mattress in the back. And as a way to try to weight it down, and I don't know if they played rock, paper, scissors, flipped a coin, but the bride-to-be came out on the short end of the stick and laid on top of the mattress in the back of the pickup truck while they transported this king-size mattress. Well, it doesn't say exactly how long it took, but it does say that they were on the highway and they were going about 50 miles per hour. And yeah, what happened? A gust of wind lifted the mattress up, and there went the bride-to-be flying in the air and onto the pavement. Now, she was okay, with the exception of some bruises, some scratches, and a couple of chipped teeth. But she made it to the wedding the next day. So let this be a lesson to you. If you are in the process of moving something, make sure you secure your load. And especially if you're about to get married, don't allow your fiance to ride on top of a mattress. Unless, of course, it's the honeymoon. Then that's okay. But not while you're moving. Bobby in Miamisburg. What's up, Bobby?
Hey, Todd. What's going on, my friend?
How are you?
Just fine. I got an idea for your Spiders song.
Oh, yes. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
We're both of a relative vintage age that you would appreciate this song.
Okay.
Circa 1965, 66, The Who, Boris the Spider.
Boris the Spider. Okay.
That's the name of the song, and you could make it Joris the Spider, and one of the chorus line is creepy crawly. Do you remember that song?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me find it real quick. I got to pull it up here. Give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere.
Yep.
Bobby, why don't you fill for me?
Fill for you?
Yeah. Just and just keep it clean. Okay.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Well, I know Captain Scurvy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
He's a nut.
He's a nut.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, well, he is a nut. And he is. I know him very well. He's a nutty guy. All right. So here's the Who, Boris the Spider.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
John Entwistle sings it. It's not Roger Daltrey.
Gotcha. Look, he's crawling up my wall. Black and hairy, very small. Now he's above my head, hanging by a little thread. Oh,
here's the chorus.
Here it comes. Boris the Spider, or Joros the Spider. Yes. Oh, I think this is This might be the winner. Hands down. Yes. That is great. Boris the Spider. All right, now I'm going to have to find an instrumental version of that.
Now you got to be at least 45 or 48 or 50 to appreciate that.
Oh, that's all right. I'll make sure people know what it is. Tonight at my house, it's going to be Cheez-It tacos and Joro Spider talk. That's what it's going to be. All right. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. That line's open, 937-457-1290. The other morning, I was listening to Miami Valley's morning news. This might have been, I don't know if I got this, if I heard it first part of this week or last week. But Larry Hanskin, who, by the way, is going to be on the show next Tuesday around 5:30. He's doing a comedy stand-up special at Wiley's Comedy Club. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And it's called Grumpy Dads. And it's Larry and two other comedians who are going to be doing a night of comedy. I'm assuming complaining about being old guys, which is fine. You know, we're all there, most of us. But they were talking about the top 10 most coveted status symbols, according to a new study by the Express. I don't know who the Express is, but they did the study. Now, some of these I get. Sports car, 100%, right? Hot tub, yeah, maybe. Okay. Walk-in closet, that's always nice, but I don't know that that's a status symbol. Home theater, it depends on how nice the home theater is, for sure. If you've got nice reclining seats for a bunch of people, okay. Home gym, sure. Electric gates, I guess if you live on an estate large enough with electric gates, that's pretty impressive. Underfloor heating, that's not bad. I've never lived in a home with underfloor heating. Unique one-of-a-kind items like original art, sure, yes. My favorite artist is Picasso. If I could ever get my hands on just a small little Picasso sketch, that would be huge. Also on the list, garden room. That's number 9. Like if you got a garden room on your house, that's pretty cool. But here's the number 10. And I have these, and I hate them. I hate these. Glass bifold doors. They're doors, and I'm assuming this is what they're talking about, that are mirrored, right? Glass bifold doors. Is it something else? I hate those mirrored bifold doors. We have them on our closet in our bedroom. Is that what they are, William? Is that what's showing up? I can't stand those things because that's the last thing I want to see when I get up in the morning. Right there, staring right back at me. Me. That's no fun. Nobody wants to see that. We've talked about, spraying something on them and trying to frost them up. Maybe it's something else. Glass bifold doors. Maybe somebody has those and feels very special and they can let us know. Give us a call.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L. S. T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Am I wrong about that? Glass bifold doors. I feel like that. Are those the mirrored doors? Closet doors, or I don't understand what those are. Glass bifold doors. I don't know. My wife is my status symbol. Exterior glass fold. That's how little status I have. I have no idea. I have no idea what they are. Exterior bifold. Okay. Exterior bifold. Really? That's what those are? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I can sort of see that, but I don't know that I would want those doors. Not in Ohio. I mean, they are more expensive than the standard sliding glass door. But I think that that's funny that people with assign status to a glorified sliding glass door. That's hysterical. Those, I think, Leslie, we're talking maybe about the same thing. We used to live in an old house that was built in 1880s, and it has what's called pocket doors. Pocket doors. Yeah, pocket doors. Yeah, those are great. We had pocket doors on our living room and our family room. But, yeah, I don't think the glass folding doors look all that exciting. They just look like, look like glorified sliding glass door. I don't know.
McAfee Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill.
Cooler temperatures coming tonight. We'll have the latest at 6 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
At best, you're an underachiever at a local radio station.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Drunk and disorderly.
Drunk and disorderly. Drunk and disorderly.
Drunk and disorderly.
Are you drunk?
All right, get him out there. You're under arrest. Drunk and disorderly.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. You know, one thing you really shouldn't do if you're ever drunk is climb. Climbing while under the influence, not a good idea. I don't need to go into all the reasons why. You just know, right? Gravity and booze
Not always a great combination, but there is a 30-year-old guy from Kentucky who was arrested at the Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green. Apparently, there's some sort of small amusement park there, and it is home to Kentucky's Rumbler, which is a roller coaster. So this happened on, when was this? Saturday night around 10:30. Cops were called. This drunken fool apparently decided to start climbing the roller coaster. Got to the highest point of the coaster, and then rescuers had to climb on the tracks and try to negotiate with the man to come down, but he wasn't having it. After about an hour, the guy finally complied and peacefully came back down. Yeah, drunken climbing is not a good idea ever, especially a roller coaster. That's a little nutty.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm just curious. Do you know how much they're charging for a giant Cheez-It? I'd be curious to know. That's not bad. $1 for a big Cheez-It. I mean, just for fun, right? I'm gonna get one of those tonight. Captain Scurvy, were your ears burning a little while ago? You got a shout out on the show. He just said he knew you, Captain Scurvy, and I just said you're a weirdo.
Breaking news.
Nutty, that's right. I called you Nutty. I was under the gun. That's all I could come up with.
Minutes and immediately when it breaks. I'm Ron Otto, 1290 at 95.7 WHIO. Dayton's news and talk depend on it.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
It's Todd. It's Todd, honey.
He's funny.
Monday through Friday.
5 to 7.
On the radio?
You can tell she likes Todd for Todd. Some nut real character, that one.
Todd, let's do this.
Get the show started.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, yeah, it's just a goofy name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. We got the live stream up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you'd like to watch the show, that's an option. Coming up this hour, last night we had a Hall of Fame caliber Florida man, and I think we might have another one tonight. Kind of on the fence, though. Like to get your take on it. Also, we have a great story about a dog saving its owner's life. This dog ran 4 miles for help. That's like Lassie. It's like Lassie. So we're going to talk about that. I'm a little distracted right now. William, I can't really see because I've got the shades down here. Do you see the person out in front of the building lying down? Do you see that? Right out by the street, close to the fire hydrant. You see what I'm saying? It's somebody. Do you see what Ron Otto? Do you see what I'm saying? Right there, out the window. I know this is radio, folks, but this is a little concerning. Do you see what I'm saying? You see him? Is that where the bus stop is? I don't think the bus stop is there. There's like some guy lying out on the sidewalk. Yeah, it's down the street. It's a guy in a blue shirt, black slacks. He's got his his legs crossed, lying flat on his back, and he's not even under a tree. You'd think maybe he's trying to get out of the sun.
He's not. But he's moving around. That is
Get off my lawn.
that is crazy. You know, I was talking about this yesterday, how it just seems like public decorum has gone down the toilet. Yeah. Ron Otto, he's in agreement. William, in agreement. He's just out there taking a nap. I mean, it is a public sidewalk. I get that, but wow. That's just something else. I'm going out the back door tonight. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going home. Lordy. 937-457-1290. So I saw this story today in USA Today, and this is always a super hot topic when it comes up on the show. Tipping. We live in a tipping culture. Now, other cultures, other societies, other countries, if you will, not so much. But here, it's big time. And Bankrate, which is a online company, they did a survey. And they asked 2,400 American adults about tipping. And I was really surprised at what they revealed. And it breaks it down by generations, like who are the best tippers and who are the worst tippers. And I have to be honest, if you just ask me that question, I would immediately say the older generations are probably the worst tippers. And only because, and I think there's a reason for this. Only because many of them are on what is, you hear this term, a fixed income. Well, the truth is most of us are on a fixed income, but that is a term that people like to throw around. So they're very, very conservative when it comes to giving out money to people who help them. That would have been my guess. And it's not a judgment. It's just, I think that's just the way it is. The exact opposite. According to their survey, the generations that are leading the rebellion against tipping are Gen Zers and millennials, and specifically men. It turns out that older Americans seem to have the most sticker shock about the rising costs of tipping. I get that. As you get older and things become more expensive, it kind of blows you away. It's like, oh my gosh, you have all that history. I remember when a cup of coffee was a nickel. Now it's $4. But even though the cost of things have gone up and tipping goes up because of the cost of things going up, they still seem to be more generous than their Gen Zers and millennial counterparts. I find that interesting. Something else that was in the survey by Bankrate, it asked the question, who are the most reliable tippers in the restaurant? And again, 2,400 adults, older patrons, and women. Women are better tippers than men. Now, William, you work a second job. Hop on the mic there. Don't be afraid, young man. It's okay. You work a second job, and do you rely on tips?
Yes, I get it's probably like 50% more of my income is tips.
Really? Really?
Maybe a little less, maybe like 40, but it's still like a sizable chunk of my income there.
Now, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I don't want you to mention where you work because I don't want you to get in trouble. They may not like that, especially on the show. But the people that come in, what tends to be their generation? Are they older? Are they sort of middle-aged? Are they younger? What's your feel?
It's mostly moms and teenagers is the biggest demographic that comes in.
Together or separately?
Separately, usually,
separately,
but not always.
Okay,
but generally, like those are the two. Like if someone's coming through, they're usually a mom or a teenager, but not like it's not.
Right.
It's just probably the most consistent.
Can we say that it's a coffee shop?
It's a coffee shop.
Yeah, it's a coffee shop.
I'm a barista.
Okay, you're a barista. Okay. According to the survey by Bankrate, 2/3 of adults And I'm assuming they're saying like 25, 30 plus. That's the age. That 2/3 of adults say they always tip when they sit down at a restaurant. But only 35% of Gen Zers ages 18 to 27 do so. Is that accurate? That only 35% of the Gen Zers in this survey leave a tip when they sit down at a restaurant?
If I go, like me and my friends, if we go to sit down at a restaurant, we tip there. Like I don't always tip at like other places, but if I'm going to sit down and I'm being served, I always tip. And I know my friends, also young men, we tip.
Now, I can understand some restaurants, like my wife. I was talking to my wife about this story earlier, and she said, well, we like to go to City Barbecue. We go to the one in Beaver Creek. And they don't have people that come to your table to bring you food. Everybody there works behind the counter.
Right.
They call your name, you go up, you get your food, you get your condiments and your silverware and all that stuff. And then at the end of the dinner, you take your stuff back up, you put it in the trash, you put your plates in one bin, you put your silverware in another bin. It's almost not quite, but almost like do it yourself. But there's no tipping. Absolutely no tipping. And I don't even think there's a tip jar.
Yeah.
And Chipotle is kind of like that. They don't bring food out to you, but I think there is a tip jar.
There's a tip jar, and I think some of them have like a tip screen if you're paying with a credit card.
Yeah. It says 50% of millennials age 28 to 43. Those aren't millennials, are they? Oh, I guess they are. 56% always tip when they go out to dinner, that age group, or if they sit down. 78% of Gen Xers, that's me, always leave a tip. And 86% of baby boomers, 60 to 78, always leave a tip to servers. But I am surprised that only 35% of Gen Zers do that. I would have thought for sure, for some reason in my head, I thought it would be really the opposite. I thought that the younger people would be the ones that would be more supportive of tipping.
What I thought it was going to be is I thought it was going to be kind of a bell curve where I thought baby boomers were going to be the worst and Gen Z was going to be the worst, and the millennials and Gen X were kind of better.
In the middle somewhere.
Because usually those are the people who give me the best tips. So although I barista is different. People tip differently than they do at like a restaurant.
Right.
Because it's oftentimes just like keep the change, throw in a buck in the tip jar or whatever.
Yeah. It's not like 20%.
No, well, it's sometimes if they're paying with a card, it gives them like options.
Oh, it gives you the options and
10,
you can
15,
see it.
20.
Yeah. Right. If I had to figure the math out, he wouldn't be getting
it's just
much.
A button. You just
just hit the button.
Like a monkey.
Yeah.
You just press the button.
That's right. That's a great comparison for me. You're like a monkey.
Right.
It says who tips the most? 37%. Just 37% of U.S. adults say they typically tip at least 20% when they sit down at restaurants. While let's see here, only 17% of Gen Zers and 28% of millennials say they tip at least 70%. So 20% seems to be fading away. It's now back to, I guess, 15% or less. That's what it used to be. I always thought it was 15%. Like when I was young, I vaguely remember the tip is 15%. And then at some point, I thought it became 20%. So I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I thought for sure that older Americans would be the ones who were the cheapskates, and the young kids would be the ones, the young kids, the Gen Zers would be more generous. But then again, many of them don't have jobs.
Yeah, I also
so
noticed
they don't have any money to tip.
Old people, they usually either no tip or big tip. It's usually like they're more likely to leave a big tip than someone younger.
Yeah.
They're also more likely, from where I work at least, to leave no tip.
Yeah. I've never had a job where I worked for tips. Never had a job like that. I've never been a server. And the people that do it, you have my sympathy and my admiration. And I always try to leave a good tip. because that is not easy work. My wife used to do that. She was a server at a Frisch's out in Centerville when she was I don't know if she was in high school, but she was a young adult, and she has horror stories about that. So you've got my sympathy for sure.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Yeah, I used to have one of those tip cards. You remember those, Kelly? I used to have one of those tip cards you could pull out. Looked like a little credit card that had all the the tips on them. That's funny. Ugh. They just showed a picture of a crane pulling an alligator out of a ditch down in Texas. Ooh, that's a long one. 12 feet.
A popular restaurant loses one location in the Miami Valley. We'll have latest at 6:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Just heard that story from Ron Otto about the Red Lobster on Miller Lane on the list, the axe list. I saw that Flavor Flav, have you heard this story, the rapper? He apparently has a great affection for Red Lobster and posted on his, social media, Instagram, whatever, that he has been going to select Red Lobsters and buying the entire menu in an effort to support Red Lobster. Now, Red Lobster, the reason they're going under, we've talked about this on the show. One of their marketing geniuses came up with this idea a year or so ago, the all-you-can-eat shrimp bonanza or Red Lobster bonanza, whatever. It was some sort of seafood bonanza, and it was all you could eat. So people would show up, they drop down their whatever it was, $15, $16, and just pig out. They'd go to town on all the all-you-can-eat shrimp and all that. And this is true. They lost so much money from that. They've had to file bankruptcy, and they've had to close stores. Can we get Flavor Flav here in Dayton? Can we put out a call? Is there a signal, like a bat signal for Flavor Flav? I know he was just at the Indy 500. I saw him there. Maybe we could get Flavor Flav to swing by the Miller Lane Red Lobster. Try to keep it open. Fight for your right for Red Lobster. It's right along 75. He might be passing through. He could swing right off. Man, I wonder if the people that work there are going to be given jobs at other locations. I know there's one in Beaver Creek. There's one down by the Dayton Mall. Is there one in Huber? No, there wouldn't be one in Huber. Not if there was one on Miller Lane. I'm sure there's got to be more than just those two. I don't know. Maybe not. But Red Lobster, that's like one of those iconic restaurant chains. And boy, oh boy, did they screw up. Nice idea, but just poor execution.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
H.
Double L. S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
on WHIO.
Dum de dum de dum dum de dum de dum 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 de dum 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 dum.
Everybody, could I have your attention, please?
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Now, hold on, dummy. Just you listen to me.
Now, listen to me carefully. Boys got something to say to me? Why don't you talk in the microphone?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. The live stream is up, rolling on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Today, of course, is the observation. That's not right. We are observing D-Day, the Allied landing there in Normandy. This date, 1944. And a couple of years ago, I produced a radio documentary here on WHIO called D-Day, Dayton Remembers. And it spotlights the service of a couple of Daytonians who were there. So if you'd like to check it out, I just posted that on my Facebook. It's right there at the top, and you can check it out. It's really interesting. We've got clips from the actual veterans, the folks who were there. We also have some stories, and there's some sound effects, and it's just kind of a cool little piece. So I hope you check it out. Again, Dayton Remembers D-Day there on my Facebook. We've got some good dog news.
Oh, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog. Yes, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog. I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog, I'm a good, I'm a real, I'm a good, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm a real good dog. See, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog.
Yes, thank you, Leslie, on the live stream. D-Day 80 years ago. I told you I don't do math. But yes, it was 80 years ago today.
So this is a great story about a dog. We have a feature we do from time to time, Damn It Dog, and sometimes dogs, well, you lose your minds with them, and you're like, damn it, dog, get off the, whatever. So I thought a great way to balance it would be to have also good stories about dogs. Because most stories are good about dogs. You only hear about the bad stuff, but the good stuff you want to hear too. Kind of balances things out. An Oregon man was rescued alive after crashing his truck into a ravine thanks to his dog. The Baker County Sheriff's Office said that Brandon Garrett was driving on U.S. Forest Service Road 39 when he lost control of his truck around a curve and crashed down an embankment. This happened a few days ago, June 2nd. His truck landed on its side at the bottom of the ravine in a shallow stream. Garrett had 4 dogs with him. 4 dogs in his truck. One of the dogs escaped from the truck and ran 4 miles through the woods, probably on the road. Probably looked for road signs. But he ran 4 miles to the camp where Garrett's friends were staying. Now, how did the dog know that? Like, how did the dog know? That's where my guy's friends are. I'm going to run there. 4 miles. I couldn't run 4 miles. I don't know that I could walk 4 miles. But Garrett's friends were there when the dog arrived. And I'm imagining that it was a little bit like the whole Lassie scene. Timmy's stuck in the well. He fell down the well. Lassie, what's the problem? That kind of thing. And the dog's trying to get him to follow. Well, his friends knew something was wrong, and they organized a search for their missing friend. Garrett's family found his truck on the morning of June 3rd, so he was out there a whole night, but could not reach him due to the terrain. They called 911. Multiple rescue agencies were dispatched, and the sheriff says they found Garrett along with his 3 other dogs about 100 yards from the crash site. So at least he made it out, but just couldn't get back up out of the ravine. Volunteers from the Pine Valley Rural Fire Department, and employees with U.S. Forest Service used chainsaws to clear a path through the brush, allowing the rescue personnel to reach the man. He was rescued using a high-line rope system. I'm sure I saw that on Emergency back in the day. To pull him back up to the roadway, ambulance rushed him to a nearby life flight helicopter, which took him to the hospital. No word on his condition. That's a great story. It really is. But I don't know who. Not very good reporting. What's the dog's name? A dog of that caliber should have his day in the sun, right? Have his name broadcasted all over the country. That's cool. Anyway, that's a good story. 937-457-1290. Are you a believer in ghosts? No? Well, you mean you don't believe them? I've talked about this. I'm a co-host of a podcast called the Dark Edge Podcast. We haven't done an episode in a while because we're lazy, but we talk about stuff like that from time to time. And if you were listening last year, you might recall that around Halloween time, I went ghost hunting for the first time and went down to an old opera house down in Middletown. And I didn't see anything. I didn't see any ghosts, but we did record something that was a little strange. It sounded like they were saying my name. And I did have what I thought was an interesting conversation, or I think it is a kind of an interesting conversation with potentially a ghost. And it was one of those deals. I'm sure if you watch ghost shows, they have those little flashlights, and the lights, the flashlights light on and then they go off. And the assumption is that the ghosts are somehow affecting the energy going to the ball. I don't know. I'm a little suspect of it, but I did have some sort of weird conversation, and it is on my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to watch it, you can see it. But this is a side of ghosts that I never would have thought of. But this is a weird year, so maybe this is part of it, right? A prominent paranormal expert in the UK says the ghost population is disappearing into thin air. His name is Dr. Paul Lee. He holds a PhD in nuclear physics, and he's one of the UK's leading experts on ghosts. I've always found that interesting when somebody is an expert on something like ghosts or UFOs or Bigfoot. It just means that you're a very enthusiastic hobbyist, right? It really is the truth. I mean, there's not a school that you go to become an expert in any of those things. But nonetheless, he's an expert in ghosts. He says that many of the UK's most famous ghosts are no longer appearing to the living, positing that their spectral essence is dwindling beyond the pale of death as they pass on to the other side. So he's basically saying that certain ghosts are slowly fading away. I mean, not just literally in front of your eyes. They fade away. They dissolve into the ether. They're literally disappearing. According to a 2023 poll, 69% of Brits believe that ghosts exist and 20% believe their house is haunted. I wonder if the numbers are like that here. I would bet that not 20% of American residents believe their house is haunted. I mean, we've talked to people who firmly believe that their house is haunted, and we've heard some chilling ghost stories here on the show from time to time when we talk about it. But I don't think our numbers reach 20%. Dr. Lee says he's hearing far fewer reported ghost sightings in recent years. Now, is that what he's basing this on? That people just aren't calling him and saying, hey, we think we saw a ghost. And that's what he's basing it on? I think now people are more aware of the prospect of catching ghosts on camera and putting it on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. They don't need some self-proclaimed expert. But his explanation that the ghosts are fading is that their life force slowly is dwindling as they are aging out of existence. I thought for sure when I started reading this, he was going to blame it on climate change. I thought 100% he's going to say the ghosts are dwindling because the glaciers are melting. He explains that many of UK's most famous ghosts. Sadly, he doesn't give the names of famous ghosts. Are we talking Shakespeare? Are we talking Queen Elizabeth? I mean, what are we talking here? He explains that many of the UK's most famous ghosts are either dormant or have faded away or moved on, and suggests that their natural sources of energy have dwindled away over time. But he does leave room to the notion that some ghosts can be recharged. A little bit like a rechargeable battery, right? You just plug them in, give them a little time to juice up, and then they come back full effect. So that's kind of interesting. I thought ghosts were just here to stay. Not that they would, not like the show Ghosts. You watch that show? I love that show. My wife and I love that show. It's a house full of ghosts, and they all interact with each other, and they interact with the owner of the home who fell, hit her head, and now she can see ghosts. And sometimes, the ghosts disappear. And because they're ghosts, they don't know any better. And they say, oh my gosh, where's such and such ghost? He got sucked off. That's what they call it. Maybe that's what's happening in the UK. The ghosts are getting sucked off.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H-O.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Very pleasant weather out there this evening and tonight. The 70s this evening give way to lows in the upper 50s tonight. We'll be dry.
That guy's still laying out in front of the station. Oh, now he just sat up. And I've seen at least 2 cars stop to see if he's okay. And then they just move on. Huh. We need to call Rumpke. I don't know. I mean, he's not drinking anything. I don't know what he's doing. He's not near the bus stop. Maybe he's a big fan of the show. Hoping to catch a glimpse. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. So we saved it to the last. Potential Florida Man Hall of Fame story. Cops in Brantwood, Florida, say a man who called for help after becoming lost in the woods was arrested over the weekend. 43-year-old man became lost early Saturday morning after wandering around for a while in the woods. He called 911. Couldn't find his way back to the boat ramp. Rescue responded, spent about an hour looking for the guy. They finally found him and were able to get him back to the boat ramps from where he wandered away, though his excitement of being founded was overrun by anger, I guess, because when the law enforcement brought him out of the woods, they knew his name. And turns out that he had active warrants. So the guy who got lost in the woods called the police for help, and he had active warrants. But that's not all. That's not all. While searching our Florida man before taking him to jail for the active warrants, cops say they found drugs, including pot, smoking pipe, several burnt marijuana blunts, and cigarettes in his shorts. Then they searched his cooler. There, they found another glass smoking pipe, an assortment of alcoholic beverages, all legal. The thing that really sealed the deal, though, was the vial of methamphetamine. So there you go. Florida man, wanted by the law, has drugs, has meth, the whole deal. Calls the cops for help because he's lost in the woods. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid, I think. Well, the cops are talking to the guy that was out in front of the studio. I'll see what happens with that. I'll have a report tomorrow, just after 5, here on the Evening Edge. Have a terrific Thursday night. All right, everybody. Have a great Thursday night, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Paul. I worked especially hard on tonight's show. Have a good one.